Good morning, all. Linda, it's nice to have you back. All right, we're gonna get started. Arms and head and neck. So our arms are gonna go from one side to the other, and we're going to watch our arms. So get that head turning from side to side. So it's our 2-for-1 special. We're getting the neck, the head, and the arms. And just get that little wave going. Not to make ourselves dizzy. We'll take it at a good pace. Now we're going to take this little wave from the arms and the head, and we're going to go down low. And then we got a little half circle happening with our head as our arms are sweeping side to side. And we're watching those hands, making sure they don't get unruly, supervising. All right, shaking that out, getting that a little loose. Start circling those shoulders back. Just some big, slow circles back. Some movement out of that shoulder blade. I'm tilting the head to one side and concentrating on that opposite shoulder. So I'm going to tilt my head. And other shoulder, that neck that's getting that stretch, I'm going to roll that shoulder out. So we got this roll going in one direction. Let's take the roll going the opposite way. And see how big we can make that circle. So we're getting the neck stretch and the shoulders. Another 2-for-1. And let's do the other side. Tilting. Rolling the shoulder in one direction. And the other way. Somebody's got some big circles going. I like it. Nice. All right, arms and neck. You're going to take your hands to one side and the other. And again, your gaze is following your hands. So we're making that no movement. All right, so our upper body's getting some action here. Just pay some attention to your lower body, right? We're not slacking off. We got that athletic stance. Our knees are bent. Feet are firmly planted. Lower body is ready for when we're going to get some action down there. Now, arms up. You're going to look up, and now you're going to look down. So again, we're following the hands. And with that reach up, see if you can reach back just a little bit, but squeeze those glutes. Everybody's got some breath going here. Make that breath match the movement. Exhale. One more big reach. And letting that go. Shaking out the arms. And with the head just feeling nice and loose. This is what I call the Stevie Wonder head, right? We're just getting kind of loose. Let it kind of roll around, whatever feels good for you. Get that movement going. Now with those shoulders, we're going to roll the shoulders in, open the chest. Roll, and then open. So feel what happens with your shoulder blades here. I feel like we're rolling open through the shoulder blades, and then we're pinching them together in the back. So we get some space, get some contraction. Now think about turning those hands in, right? So the back of the hands come in, and then we open. So I got a little shoulder rotation going here too. While the scapula's getting some action. Yeah. Now working into those elbows, we're taking the hands out like you have a platter. We're going to roll the arms in and out. I think of this as like making a corkscrew action. Corkscrew, those roller coaster corkscrews. Start rolling around. So you got some rotation happening in the shoulders. Wrists are getting some action as well. So we're starting to feel a little groovy in the upper body. Finding that groove. All right, taking those arms up and back. Just a nice little simple up and back, kind of like we're cross-country skiing. They have these, I can't think of the piece of equipment, but they have this equipment in the gym now where you're pulling a rope and this action. So you can have some resistance to it as you're pulling down. It's very cool. So all the way forward, all the way back. See if you can accentuate that reach back. Work that full range of motion. Lower body, we're still in that athletic stance. Swinging those arms, but with control. So slow this down, right? It's not momentum now, it's slow, controlled, intentional, thoughtful about our actions. Now instead of forward and back, we're going to take it up and down like we're flapping the arms. Full wingspan here. Reach out through your fingertips. We got those flaps going, but these are slow flaps. Slow flapping. We're breathing. All right, full range of motion there. So try to get up to your shoulders, at least shoulder height. If you got it, go ahead and go a little bit higher. And now all the way down. Now, what if we had resistance on the way down and we had to push and really contract as we come down? So let's think about that. Pretend like we have that resistance and we're pushing down. Feel that activation happen in those pec muscles. Yeah. Big, long, slow flaps. Now we can start speeding this up. Forget about muscling it out, just getting that reach going. All right, windshield wipering the arm, giving the shoulders a little bit of a break. Side to side. Right across that chest. Yeah, and then just take notice of what your elbows are doing, a little bend and extend. Now let's take this reach overhead. You wave your arms like you just don't care. Hey-o. You just gotta get it in sync. And now in the middle. And now down low. So sweeping from side to side, down low. Let's do that again. Go back through the middle. Overhead. Hey-o. Back through the middle. And then down low. All right, shaky arms. Getting loose from the shoulder all the way down. A little shake and bake with the arms. Anybody remember shake and bake? Culinary wonder of the 80s. Flappy with your hands. So just get loose, relax with your hands. Let it go. Yeah. Yeah, Lynn's feeling it. I like it. All right, arms. You're gonna bend and extend those arms. Just a little bend and extend. It's like we're directing airplanes. Future job for any of us. And now just one at a time, one at a time. So keeping those shoulders up and just alternating those arms. And taking this a little bit lower, giving the shoulders a little bit of a break. Yeah, so full flexion, extension, really extend that arm all the way down, right? There we go. So it's not so much out, it's down. Yeah. All right, getting into your torso. We're gonna take that shoulder and you're gonna roll from one side and then roll the other side. So think about rolling your shoulder down towards your knee and rolling the other side. So we get a little bend happening there in the hips, and we get a little hunched over in that back. Should feel more like a cat back, right? We do those cat and cows. It feels like that cat back. We're getting rounded through that spine. Nice. All right, Colin's feeling it. Yeah, you can add some reach with that arm, reaching down. Now let's get a little opening with that chest. So you're gonna come down and then roll the shoulder open. Come down, roll the shoulder open and back. Are we feeling that? Feeling a little pinch happening in that shoulder as we roll it open. This also couples as a great dance move to Snoop Dogg's Pop It music video. We're training for it. We're training for it. We're gonna do it. All right, letting that go. Taking those arms, you're going to reach up overhead, get a little back bend in there, squeeze your glutes. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Now we're gonna come down and open up the arms in the back. So reach up, let it go. Reaching back and back, letting it go. Feel that contraction at the top, right? The glutes are engaged. We're using the spine muscles, and then we release. Breath in, exhale. Couple more here. Another big reach back, squeeze the glutes, and let that go. And a little side to side action here. Like you're reaching your fingertips down the side of your leg, and you're feeling that shift in your rib cage. The ribs are moving down towards the hip. Yeah, side to side action. Letting this go and getting into the hips, big hip circles around in one direction. It's the hula hoop action. Yeah, thanks, Rich. Now I can see your hips. All right, roll it around. Make that circle as big as you can. If you have your hands on your hips, feel that roll happen around. Yeah. And let's reverse this circle. We'll go the other way around. And letting that go. Getting into those legs. Straight legs, and we're just gonna start wandering around our place, but straight leg kicks. So flex your foot and just start walking around like we're Frankenstein. Roaming around our place, watching where you're kicking. Nice. Very good. Okay, let's add some reach to this. So that opposite arm is going to reach out towards your toes as you're walking around, wandering around your place. Opposite arm, opposite leg. So the reach is towards the toes. You don't need to touch the toes. Something to shoot for. Unless you want extra credit today, then you touch your toes. Very nice, very nice. All right, let's start picking up those knees this time. Foot is flexed, lifting the knees as high as you can get those knees. And again, we're still wandering around with this. torso is going to get in on that action. So opposite knee, opposite elbow to knee. There. Start feeling that twist happen. Wandering around, yep. So nice, so nice. Okay, we're gonna let that go. We're gonna take some side to side action with the feet and the legs. So I want you to step to one side, put some weight into this leg, step to the other side. All right, so feel a little weight shift happen, keeping those knees bent. So it's like you're walking wide steps across your place. Get the legs happening first. And once you got the legs going, we're gonna add in that torso. So you're gonna step, you're going to turn to that side. Step, turn to that side. Turning in towards the leg. Yeah. Nice, nice. Good, good. Yeah, full body movement. All feeling the love. All right. Letting that go. Now, from a side step, we're going to do a step forward. So I want you to lift your knee up, step forward, take a long step forward. And once you take a step forward, I want you to reach your arms back. Airplane arms, hinge forward, look out in front of you. Big step, plant, hinge forward. Okay. So we got the arms going. Feel some action happen in that upper back. Step, lean. So now we're getting back into that hip crease, that hip hinging. If it helps, channel your favorite predatory bird, right? And that's what we are. That bird step, oh, you're reaching out, looking for your next bit of prey. Yeah, yeah. Some good lean. So that lean, again, happens from your hips. It's not just a curving of the back. Coming forward. Look out over your leg. Keep those arms kind of making that A shape, right? Pinching the shoulder blades. Nice. Nice, nice. Okay, we'll let that go. Change up our bird stance here. So then we're going to take our elbows out wide. So bring your elbows and feel like your elbows are kind of making those goalpost arms, right? We're reaching up with the elbows, still hinging at the hips. We're going to come up off of those heels. So just a little lift of those heels, start walking around, start lifting your elbows. Still feels a little bird-like. Ninja meets bird. It's a great combo. Ninja birds. That could be like the name of a parkour group. Ninja birds. Get a little forward action there so that we can get the upper back moving. So it's not up high. We want to get a little bit lower in that torso and into those hips. Lifting the elbows. Walking around ninja feet. Yeah. Let that go. Shake out that body. It'll loose. All right, now we're going to start walking backwards. But take a look. We're going to go slow with this, right? So I want you to think about looking where you're stepping, planting toe ball heel, and then stepping back, other side. Big step back. Pick up your foot to meet. right? So we're not dragging that foot. We take a step back, pick it up, plant. So watch where you're going. Use that head and neck. Take a glance at where your foot is stepping, and then take notice of how that foot is stepping. So we're not just plopping it down, but we're toe ball heeling it down. Yeah, and if you want to add in some upper body, push back with the hands. Push back with the hands. Backward stepping. Yes. So part of the exercise, again, is getting your head and neck involved so that you are watching. So it's not just a stepping backwards, but it's very intentional, it's long, and it's being looked at. You know exactly where we're going. So we don't run into anything, right? It's not the goal of the warm-up. We're not running into things. Yeah, nice, nice. Okay, let's get a little break from that backwards action and start going forward again. Sweeping the leg across our body. It's almost like that soccer kick, a little bit like that. So just sweeping across. So this is what we call adduction, right? Working towards the middle of that body, getting that kick around. And then you can take that reach to it as well, getting that upper body in on the action. See if you can reach outside of that foot, and feel free to wander around with this. Nice. So this is different than a straight leg kick. It's a across the body kick, across the body. Nice. Ooh, some of us are getting very fancy with our little crossing the legs. That's okay too. It's all good. It's all good. All right, taking a break from that. Now we're going to work on some what we call abduction, little side kick. So I want you to think about picking up your knee and then pushing with the foot. Take a step, pick up the knee, push with the foot. So the higher your leg is, the more balance is going to be required, right? So feel free to start this a little bit lower. And then take note of what your standing leg is doing, right? So we're planted with that foot, we're anchored with that foot, knee is a little bit bent before we kick. So feel that anchoring and then getting into that kick. Take your time with this one, no rush. Yeah, he's got some high kicking going. Yeah. Yeah, and then use support as needed. So that's perfect, Linda, if you feel like you just want to walk around and kind of get some extra support for that balance, by all means, go ahead and do that. All right, we're going to just change this to straight abduction, right? So we had that knee and that kick, that bending and extending, just a little side to side here. So bending the knees, straight legs come out to the side. If you want to wander with this, you're welcome to. If you want to stay in one place, that works as well. Okay, planting those feet, doing some hip side to side action. We're going to pick up those heels, pivot to one side. Pick up the heels, pivot to the other side. So think about what your knees are doing. They're facing one direction of your room. We pick it up, knees face the other side. Just the twist going. Take your time with this again. But feel that you're getting that movement, that pivoting happening on the balls of your feet. And your heels are picking up and they're resting down. I feel like we need the twist song to this move. Feel free to add a little extra twist with your torso. Okay, we're going to slow this down a little bit and add in a little more torso. So you're going to twist to one side, hold it there, arms come out, tilt from one side to the other. Twist to the other side, arms come out, one side and the other. So we're changing that little center of gravity and our balance here. Twist, and then the reach. How are we doing, Priscilla? So we're picking up those feet, those knees turn to face one direction. So now I'm in a tandem stance. And then I make that reach, that little side to side action. Nice, nice. Yeah, lots of arm movement in there. Good, good, good. All right, loosening up that ankle, taking that foot on the floor and just rolling that ankle around in one direction. And we'll roll around the other way. And other side. And a little roll. Other way around. Okay, we're not quite done with those hips and the legs. So I want you to think about getting a little boingy, right? So we have some bend at the knees, bend at the hips. Feels a little bit bouncy. Feet are firmly planted. Just getting this little bounce happen. We can walk with this bounce, kind of bouncing around, walking around our space. Yeah. Boingy, bouncy, walking, knees are bent. Hip hinge is happening. Okay, let's slow this down. We're going to take a step, bend the knees, arms reach down, reach up. Take a step, bend the knees, reach down, reach up. Take a step. Yeah, yeah. So we're staying with that little bit, hip crease, knees are bent, but we're just gonna see if we can get a little bit lower with that. And if your hands can gently sweep the floor, great, not required, but we are reaching towards the floor and then back up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nice. We'll be all loose and ready to go for the second part. Keep going though. Let's get a few more in. And before I hand you off, just one last little exercise. I want to get our wrists in there. So go ahead and start circling your wrists in one direction. Get some mobility happening there. The other way around. And then some flexion and extension. Pulling back, pulling forward. And the wavy hands. So try and get that action happening at that wrist. And this is the perfect movement for me to sign off. So I'm going to hand this over to Shen.
Signing on. It's a chair day again. If you could grab one, please. Remember, don't do this part. Just watch athletically, okay? Today is all about building very slow, intelligent upper body reactions to falling, okay? We have this whole spectrum between catching a fall and just taking the hit without using something. Ugh. You see my head bounce there? That was a good simulation. Okay, there's a whole mid-range where you don't catch the entire thing, but you catch part of it, which gives you just a split second to make a different reaction. Okay, it's happening, okay, I'm fine. No head that time, okay? So don't do any of that, don't do that, okay? we're working in the top parts. And at first, we're working with a lot of visualization. So you're really going to consider the chair. I mean, really look at it. Don't do it yet. We're still just watching. And we're using two tools to help us examine our microscope. Our horse stance, where we're just wide and bent in some way, where I can still move. And we're using our hinge that we've all been building up on our own, putting it into our daily life for the last several weeks or months, right? Every day, just opening up your hinge a little bit. I hope so. If you're not, you oughta. Okay? Hands aren't doing nothing yet. They're back here chilling. And now I'm looking at my chair for good catch points and bad catch points. Like, for example, like this corner looks pretty good. If I went at that corner, grabbed a leg in the seat, I think that would be pretty solid. Middle's probably a good place. Up here is where things get a little dicey. Don't do that, right? You're just visualizing in a horse stance, using your hinge, and really looking at your chair for a little while. Where would you grab it? Where wouldn't you grab it in an emergency? Ready? Go. And if you're thinking anywhere I grab it, this thing's gonna slide, put a mat down. We're in an idealized scenario here. Remember, we're not actually using our hands yet. Did you miss that part? We're just looking at it. We're just visualizing where we would grab it and getting as close to it as possible. Using our horse stance, using our hinge, using our depth. If you can't add depth from the beginning, all we're doing is increasing the distance and speed of the fall. If you want to slow it down, you got to get low first. Compression, right? Our body is built for compression. If we use it intelligently, we can slow down events that we think of as instant, right? One problem is we visualize falls as this sudden catastrophic thing. If we change our visualization and match it up with movement practice, you change the reaction. You can think of falls as slow. You can even make them slow on purpose, even if they catch you by surprise. Yeah, I'm just talking to kind of distract you from the fatigue. You don't have to, I'm not actually doing nothing. I'm just talking. Eyes on your own work. Okay, relax. Relax, give that a shake. Give that a shake. Give it a nice, intentional, conscious shake of all the limbs. Like you mean it. Like you love shaking. I do. I'd shake all day if I could get paid for it. I'll figure that part out eventually. Now the hands are free. And we are, once again, visualizing my good grabs and my bad grabs, but not actually making the grab. Okay? What I want you to do is slow everything way down and squeeze the heck out of it. Okay? All through your arms, all through your legs. I want you to tense up as you visualize your grab without actually grabbing. So, the lower the better. Yeah, you know what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying, so I'll just show you. Right? I'm not actually doing it. I'm trying to slow down and just really give my nerves time to pattern in the reaction. That's part of what this slow stuff is all about. If you want to slow a fall, you got to practice slow. How slow could I possibly fall without actually falling yet? Right? Visualizing good grabs, avoiding bad grabs. Go. Without actually making grabs. Do not touch your chair yet. Really visualize, right? Don't just make random grabs. Really look at what you're grabbing. Is that going to work? Think about it. What if you added speed to it? What if you added momentum? Would that support you? Would you have the upper body strength to carry it off? Think variety. Catch it every which way that you can think of that might work. It's okay to be wrong right now, right? Don't worry about the little nuances. Just think of the obvious ones. If I caught it here, I'm definitely going down with the chair. If I caught it here, the chair would support me. Well, I would support myself on the chair, right? You support each other. It's a relationship with the obstacle. Time. Come on up. Intentional shake. Really good wiggles. Really good wiggles. Harder than before, okay? Put a little more into your wiggle. Individualize the limbs. Shake your way over to a quick water break if you're thirsty. Shake your way into it and then act normal when you drink it and then put it down and then shake back, right? We want to have shaky transitions. Obviously, we don't drink shake it. That would be crazy, right? But I shouldn't have to tell you that. Okay. You can probably guess what's next. We're doing the grab, right? We're doing the grab. Again, squeeze into that sucker wherever you grab it, right? Especially the asymmetrical stuff, right? Falls rarely happen. Oh, I'm falling. Straight on, right? They're off center. They're off balance, right? They happen at weird angles. So you're going to take weird angles intentionally and load up the shoulders unevenly on purpose and try to squeeze it and get some fatigue out of yourself, right? But be careful. That's why I'm saying all this. Because you're going asymmetrical, it would be easy to overload one side and create an actual fall. That's obviously not what we're going for here. We're just building off the last drill to try to visualize and then pattern out all the different places I could grab this sucker to slow me down, where I wouldn't hit my face, right? Get your face out of the way. Take the shape that you think would support you best. Okay? That's probably enough out of me. Go. Slow it down by like 80%. Everyone's going too fast. Everyone's going way too fast. Okay? Depth and slow. Depth and slow. How slow can you go? That's your challenge. How slow can I make this and still support it all the way through? You'll find that's where the good work is too. That's where you fatigue all the stabilizer parts of a movement that you're blowing past with all that speed, right? No matter how good our technique is too, if our upper body's weak, if we're not planting with our hands, if we're not putting weight in our arms, if we don't train our arms to take weight at weird angles, all the visualization and technique isn't going to make a difference. You have to also build up the strength. The strength is always the foundation. So go slow and really challenge your arms with that tension, both internally, externally, right? You just squeeze your arms hard. You don't have to grab anything. You add the grab, and you add depth to the grab, and you add slowness in the bottom of the grab. You add up more time under tension. Arms get stronger, and the nerves get more aware of that potential reaction. But it's on you to lever yourself properly and wear your own arms out. If you're just touching your chair with straight arms, you're not building anything. You have to add weight and bend. You know, so a push-up. I could have condensed all that into push-up. I'm just doing push-ups. Aren't you? Time. Come on back. slow, intentional wiggles. Pretend you're in the ocean now. What kind of weird, slow wiggles you can make. There's no wrong answers. Wiggle your way over to water, and then see if you can wiggle drink it real quick, and then put it back in one motion and then come back to your wiggle. Wouldn't that be slick? Okay. Now you're going to add the ground, okay? If you want to. If the last progression was challenging enough, I say pop off at this stop and just build up more time in number 3. That was the third progression, okay? If you want to explore number 4 is the floor. What we're not going to do is go in straight first point of contact, okay? So what I mean is, you start out bent, just like all the others, okay? It all starts from our horse stance and our hinge, right? And now I'm splitting up. One hand's gonna catch the chair, and the other is gonna motion towards the floor. And it's all slow, and it's all tense, and you haven't started yet. It's all tense and it's all slow, and you haven't started yet. If you can get fingertips on, you immediately start collapsing the whole chain. I don't want you falling into a palm, like that, and just wrecking your elbow, wrist, shoulder chain. Nuh-uh, okay? Slow. The whole point of it is slow, so you can control it through the fingertips and roll into palm, and then begin compression immediately. Control every moment of it. You thought the others were slow? This one's even slower, okay? Go. Think about the base of our pattern here, the wide, low stance, okay? Best you can. Even if it's a shallow wide still gets you closer to the ground, okay? We're building a relationship with the ground through the chair. So we got to get close to it. If we want a relationship with it, wider is the base of that. Wide helps us get there. It also allows us to do what? Spread out the moment of impact, spread out the area of impact, just in case the worst happens. If you can take up more ground, you spread the impact out over the body. It's not the ideal outcome, but it's better. It's better than just taking the hit on one point, like your head. Keep moving around that chair. Don't practice the same point either. If you're just practicing one point over and over, I applaud you for refining it. But let's move around and get a few other options, right? You can't count on falling in just one way. Fall could happen any which way. So we're going to practice that way. Let's get a couple more. Low and slow. Bent knees, bent elbows if you can. If you can. Come out of there slow, intentional wiggles. Conscious shakes. Are you figuring out how to build up some fatigue in these positions? We getting a little work in? Oh, Linda, we stopped a while ago. Appreciate the extra credit. Okay. Okay, once again, if that progression was either challenging enough or you started getting some sort of joint limitation. Your shoulder, your knee, something isn't liking that part, or at least it says like I'm near the edge of what I can handle, right? This is the progression for you to jump out on and just keep practicing, keep refining, okay? For those of you that would like to go further, we're adding the knee very, very gently. The knee is basically kissing the ground at most, okay? Levels above that, it's just heading towards the ground without actually making contact. The same way we built up everything else, okay? So I've got my floor reaction, my slow, steady floor reaction. But what's the next point of contact if I have to go down, right? It'd be great if I could just stop it and come back. But if I have to go down, it's going to be the knee folding into the hip next, right? We've been practicing some of this, okay? But I'd like you to practice the mid-range where you only come part of the way and then come back, right? This is going to train a really smart pivot reaction where you don't just go straight into both knees. A pivot reaction allows you to go to your hip, okay? So you're going to build the early stage of that, and just think of it as a set of push-ups. Honestly, this is just complicated push-ups, okay? Keep training your arms the whole way through. The arms are what get you in and out of this, all right? Obviously, the low squatting depth is our base, but the arms is the linkage, okay? So just part of the way towards the ground with my knee. Maybe if I feel capable, I'm just going to kiss it and then get out of there and then pick a new angle. Go. Once again, if you're feeling like that's not for you, after 1 or 2 reps or even 0, you can just look at it and be like, nope, that's okay. Work the earlier progressions. There's no upper limit to how much better you can make your wide horse stance, for example. Linda.
Yeah.
Think more straddling the chair than lunging at it, right? So whatever angle you pick, it's kind of in a horse, right? No matter where you go, you're kind of in this position and not this position, okay? At the very end of this progression, horse does turn into lunge, right? When you turn the knee, but we start from horse base to get into it. Come on out of there. Those of you that would like to add moving to the hip, do so. So, I come in the same way. I collapse everything first, turn the knee, sit to the hip, reverse back, right? We've done this several times. Once again, any joint limitation you feel or just lack of support, right? That's the progression you stop at. You need to control that mid-range and not keep going to a place you might not be able to get back from, right? So, to the hip, optional, and back. Go. Good transition out. Nice shake. Shake, shake, shake. Okay. To finish up, we're going to honor the chair and ourselves. Thank the chair for its help today by placing hands on it and letting it heal us. Oh, thank you, chair, with my straight-legged hinge. Out for a few. Rock back. Oh, thank you, chair. And so on. Begin or continue. Find the length, find the stretch. This is not a push-up. This is not a push-up. This is not like the other ones. This is a cool down. So we're just grabbing and stretching. We're moving back. There's no push in this. We did all the pushing already. This is just something for you to enjoy. And say thanks to the tissues that helped you get through this. Same ones we just worked. Now we're stretching them. And thank you. And they're like, you're welcome. Thank you. What do you mean by you? Aren't you me? Asks your body. Yeah, well, sort of. I don't know, it's complicated. Is it? Is it really? Or is that just a bunch of chatter? All right. I think that's probably enough for today. Thank you all for coming. Have a lovely Wednesday. And, stay safe out there or in there if you're stuck.
Or wherever.
Wherever you're at. Wherever you're at, do it well.